Alexanderstrasse.
30 minutes under the world clock. Send her alone. Give her your phone.
If you're one of those hoping it's not too late for a Matt Damon and Jeremy Renner Bourne crossover in Bourne 6, then you're in the right place. This is the perfect time for a Jason Bourne and Aaron Cross team-up, and it's the franchise's chance to go bigger than ever. So, let's dive into everything we know about Bourne 6. While Bourne 6 could still happen, the biggest challenge facing this long-awaited sequel might be the aftermath of Nikki Parsons' death. In the last Bourne film, we saw the tragic end of one of Jason Bourne's most important allies. Jason's story has always been a dark and emotional one, marked by betrayal and manipulation at the hands of the CIA's Treadstone program. This was a man who, after being brainwashed into a perfect assassin, discovered that even the reasons he had been manipulated into joining were a lie. He thought terrorists had killed his father, but it turned out the real culprit was the CIA itself. Despite this constant onslaught of trauma, there were a few glimmers of hope in Jason's journey. One of the most notable was his relationship with Julia Stiles' Nikki Parsons. Nikki, originally a Treadstone employee, went rogue and became Jason's most trusted ally. She stuck with him through thick and thin, helping him uncover the truth about the secret programs that had ruined their lives. This bond humanized Bourne, giving him a reason to keep fighting beyond just survival or vengeance. Their relationship added emotional depth to a franchise otherwise dominated by intense action and a sense of paranoia. However, in 2016's Jason Bourne, that small thread of hope was ripped away when Nikki was killed by a CIA asset. Her death left a void in the franchise, both in terms of Jason's emotional journey and the overall dynamic of the movies. With Nikki gone, Bourne 6 faces the difficult task of potentially introducing a new character to fill that gap. The idea of giving Jason Bourne a new love interest in Bourne 6 is a bit tricky. Nikki was more than just a romantic partner. She was a grounding presence who had been through the same horrors as Bourne. They shared a mutual understanding of the dangers they faced and the betrayal they suffered. Introducing a new love interest could feel forced, especially when compared to the organic connection Jason had with Nikki. It's one thing for a James Bond-type character to bounce from one love interest to another, but Bourne's more serious, somber tone makes this a harder sell. The biggest challenge here is how the filmmakers can make Bourne's new relationship feel genuine, especially since Bourne isn't exactly the warm, charming type. He's a stoic loner, more focused on survival than making emotional connections. Trying to establish a new romance while also creating an exciting new storyline for Jason could slow down the momentum of the movie. It risks feeling like an unnecessary addition, dragging the plot down instead of enhancing it. What worked so well about Bourne's relationship with Nikki was that it wasn't just about romance, it was built on shared trauma, trust, and a common goal. Any attempt to recreate that dynamic in Bourne 6 could come off as repetitive or shallow if not handled carefully. For a character like Jason, who is defined by his tragic past, quickly embracing a new love interest might feel out of place. Ultimately, Bourne 6 will need to carefully balance the need for emotional depth with the action-packed thrills that fans expect, while honoring the legacy of Jason's past relationships without rushing to replace them. Bourne 6 might just be the perfect opportunity to finally bring Matt Damon and Jeremy Renner together for that long-awaited crossover movie fans have been hoping for. While the last film, Jason Bourne, seemed to be Damon's final outing as the iconic super spy, a sixth installment is now in development with Edward Berger, known for All Quiet on the Western Front, set to direct. Even though it was thought Damon wouldn't return without director Paul Greengrass, all signs are pointing to him reprising his role for Bourne 6. While his return isn't officially confirmed yet, it seems likely. However, what's really missing from the conversation so far is the inclusion of Jeremy Renner's Aaron Cross. Despite there being no reports of Renner's involvement, Bourne 6 could be the perfect moment to bring these two characters together. It's been 7 years since Jason Bourne hit theaters, and while Damon returning is already a huge draw for fans, a crossover with Renner would elevate the excitement even more. Renner's Aaron Cross from the Bourne Legacy may not have crossed paths with Bourne yet, but this next movie could finally give the franchise the shakeup it needs. By now, after 5 movies and a significant gap between the last one and the upcoming Bourne 6, there's always the risk of things feeling a bit repetitive. The idea of the franchise becoming stale is real, especially in a series built on a lot of high-stakes action and shadowy government conspiracies. A team-up between Jason Bourne and Aaron Cross would be the perfect way to reinvigorate the series and keep things fresh. Instead of rehashing the same solo Bourne formula, a crossover could inject new energy into the story, offering the chance to see these two characters work together for the first time. Renner's involvement would also appeal to fans who have been clamoring for this crossover ever since the Bourne Legacy. The idea was thrown around back then, but it never materialized. Now, with both actors capable of reprising their roles, perhaps with the help of some more stunt doubles this time around, the timing seems just right. A Jason Bourne and Aaron Cross team-up would not only boost excitement for Bourne 6, but also give the franchise a chance to go bigger than ever before. While Damon is more than capable of carrying the next Bourne movie on his own, bringing in Renner would take things to the next level. It's been long enough since we last saw either character, and reuniting them on screen could add new dynamics and deepen the storytelling. If Bourne 6 aims to surprise and engage its audience in a way that feels fresh, a crossover is the most logical move. This would finally deliver on years of fan anticipation, giving the series something new while still staying true to its action-packed roots. In a recent TV interview, Matt Damon addressed his potential participation in Bourne 6. While he didn't outright confirm that he would be returning to the franchise, he left the door open, showing that he's more than willing to consider it. Damon spoke highly of Edward Berger, the director behind All Quiet on the Western Front, who's been in talks to direct the next Bourne film since last November. Damon praised Berger's work, expressing his eagerness to hear his ideas and even hinting at wanting to work with him. This stance marks a shift from a pretty firm rule Damon laid down back in the day. In a 2009 interview with Entertainment Weekly, Damon had said he would only come back to the Bourne franchise if Paul Greengrass was directing. He kept his word for a long time, even stepping back from the Bourne Legacy, which starred Jeremy Renner as Aaron Cross. But in 2016, Greengrass and Damon reunited for Jason Bourne, which did well at the box office but didn't exactly thrill critics. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop. And if you want, you can share your comments about this video in the comments.